Alright, we're going to take a look at Chapter 5, Lesson 9, Similar Figures. So, when we're talking about similar figures, what we're talking about are two shapes that are the same angles, but different sizes. So this one, well, these two look pretty similar. I mean, they look like they're about the same size, but if we know that these are similar, what that tells us is that the angles are congruent, which means they have the same measure, and the sides are proportional. So that means this angle and this angle are the same, this one, and then this one and this one. What that means is that AB is proportional to XY. If you double AB to get to XY, then that means you could double BC to get to YZ. So all the combinations are set up here. I want to go through some practice problems here, but again we're saying here if these two are similar, that means they are not congruent. They are not equal in lengths, in side lengths. But what we can say is that AB matches up with EF. They are proportional. AB has the same multiple to get to EF that BC would have to get to FG, and so on. DC, HG, AD, E, H. So they have corresponding parts. That means the angles and sides are in the same position. So we can call them corresponding side lengths. When they correspond, again, they might not be equal, but they match up. So this says here, if they're proportional, then you can use a proportion or a scale factor to determine the measures of the sides of similar figures if some are known. We have to have some known before we can move forward with the rest of it. So here, if 6, I see that we have a 6 and a 4, but this side is unlabeled. We have an X and a 12, and this side is unlabeled. Okay, if we need to find X, let's set up the other pieces here in a proportion. They put, do you see that they put 6 over X? I see that they did little triangle over big triangle, 6 over X. That means on the other side they had to put 4 over 12. 6 over X is equal to 4 over 12. Now you can cross multiply and divide. 6 times 12 equals 4 times X. Then simplify, then divide by 4. Now one question might be, what if I didn't set it up that way? How would I know to put the 6 in this position and the X here? Long story short, there are more than one way to set this up correctly, but make sure that your little triangle measurements, the 6 and the 4, are either piled on top of each other or across from each other here. You cannot do diagonals with matching numbers. The 6 and the 4 match up since they're both on the small triangle, so they need to match up across the top. The 6 and the X match up because they are corresponding sides, so those match up here. Again, we can't have those at an angle at a diagonal here. They pretty much did the same thing here, so you can look through that one. Let me know if you got questions, but I want to spend time on 1A here. Let's try this out. 1A. You copy down these rectangles. Copy the 5, the B, the 30, and the 24. I'm going to flip to the screen where I have them copied, and I'm going to talk through how to do this. It might be a good idea to pause right here, see what you can do, hit play when you're ready to check your answer. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and set this up. So I'm going to put 5 over 30. Since I put 5 on top, it needs to match up with the other small rectangle measurement, B over 24. Now I can cross multiply and divide. So I'm going to take 5 times 24, and on the other side I'm going to say 30 times B. So what is 5 times 24? 5 times 24, I'm getting 120 equals 30B. And I need to divide now. Well, hey, I think I can do this division. If you do, sorry for the bad handwriting, 120 divided by 30 is the same as saying 12 divided by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Is this a reasonable answer? Would it make sense if this is a 5 that this is a 4? I think so. So I think 4 is our final answer. If it was asking for labels, we could make sure to have labels on there. I'm going to go ahead and look, so I would put centimeters, I guess. Let's take a look at 1B now. I'm seeing these two triangles here. I'm seeing We've got a smaller one and a larger one. Let's see what matches up. It looks like we're solving for A, that's the side length, and it looks like A and 4 match up, 14 and 7 match up. So let's go ahead and write those down here. I'm going to put those into proportion. We said A and 4 match up, and 14 and 7 match up. Since A was from the larger triangle, I'm going to make sure that the other side length of the large triangle goes on top, and then the 7 matches up here too. So these are both small, these are both large triangle. Okay, let's go ahead and do our cross multiplying and dividing here. So if we do 4 times 14 equals A times 7, or 7 times A, what is 4 times 14? 4 times 14, just to check, 56. So if we're dealing with 56 equals A times 7, how do we get A on a side by itself? If it's being multiplied by 7, I could do the opposite of that, which would be dividing by 7. So that would give me, what, 8? 8 equals A. That is our answer for this. 8 equals A. I know I went through that quick. Feel free to pause and rewind if you need to hear that again. So 8 is A. Alright, now we're going to take a look at a new type of problem, scale factor. So this says, recall scale factor is the ratio of a length on a scale drawing to the corresponding length on the real object. So it's also the ratio of corresponding sides in similar figures. I see in here, I see that they're matching up this triangle here, DEF, with ABC. I see that EF is 9, BC is 18. So this has a scale factor of 2. So to get to the large one, we're multiplying by 2. So if we know that that's 2, they're saying use that scale factor to figure out here. It says find the scale factor from DEF to ABC by finding the ratio of corresponding side lengths. We got that. So that's a 2. Now it's saying here, find the length of segment. That's our goal here, to find the length of segment DF. Can you see that? DF. We need to find that. That matches up with DEF, so that matches up with AC. So if this is 25.5, something was multiplied by 2 to give us 25.5. So let's use that scale factor of 2 times M, they just chose M to represent this length, equals 25.5. So we're saying this number times 2 gives us this one. So we are going to then do what? We need to get M on a side by itself. Divide by 2. That's going to give us 12.75 as that value. 12.75 is the length of DF. Let's see if we can practice one similar to this. Okay, well, this one looks more like the last problem. Rectangular blue tile has a length of 4.25 and a width of 6.75. I'm going to draw that on my paper first. I'm seeing length of this, width of 6.75. Okay, and then I'm going to write down the red triangle. Tile. Red tile has a length of 12.75 inches. What is the width? So length of this, width of this. It's important to make sure you write these down correctly. In fact, the first time I did it, I didn't. I mixed up where these numbers go. But when they said length, they said the shorter number here. When they said width, they gave us the longer one. So length here was 12.75 and we are solving for width. Okay, let's set these up. I'm seeing that this, I'm going to start, actually let's start with W. I'm going to start with W. Sorry, this is supposed to be in a fraction. So I'm going to start with W and I'm going to match it up with another number. I'm going to do 6.75 here. Next I'm going to do this number matching up with this one. So W was on the red rectangle, so I'm going to make this the red rectangle as well. And this part was the blue rectangle, so I'm going to do this part as the blue rectangle as well. Now we can do some cross multiplying and dividing. Pause here if you wanted to practice and see if you can get to the final answer. Hit play when you're ready to see what I did. So I'm going to write in 6.75 times 12.75 equals 4.25 times W. Okay, so we need to, if I can find my calculator here, I'm going to do 6.75 times 12.75. And when I type that out, I get a decimal, 86.0. 0.0625 equals 4.25W. Okay, so now, sorry about the handwriting, now I need to get W on a side by itself. So it looks like it's being multiplied here. So I'm going to divide by 4.25. So if I divide by 4.25, divide by 4.25, and end up with 20.25. I know this was a long decimal. I didn't want to round until I got to the end just in case it changed the value of it. But now 20.25, that doesn't sound like such a bad number. 20.25, I'd say that's my final answer. We can say inches here. Alright. That, I'm going to go back to this page in case anyone needs to see that. That summarizes this lesson. Please let me know if you have questions. I did post the quiz, and once you do the homework and once you do the quiz, if you get stuck on the last two questions of the quiz, see the next video posted for that assignment to help you out with those quiz questions. Alright, let me know if you have any questions, and feel free to rewind if you need to hear something again.